Right, hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the second time trying to do a review. At the beginning this was going to be a 16-minute long video, and I sat there and went, oh god no. This is Star Trek Online. I personally did enjoy it. At the moment, I am loving Star Trek. I am at the moment halfway through Enterprise. I'm halfway through season 2 of Star Trek Enterprise. And I've watched a lot of other Star Trek, and at the moment I'm really enjoying it. But this game just didn't do it for me. It felt really glitchy. The sizing of everything didn't seem right. There was times where I was flying the ship and I crashed into a planet because I didn't see the planet there, because the ship was twice the size of the planet. A lot of it just seems to be combat. Like, they said that this was a new planet and the species on it seems to be a bit easily agitated, and instantly, instead of trying to communicate, we opened fired. And there's been stuff elsewhere in the game where it's instantly been open fire. There hasn't been trying to explain. Like, we bumped into some alien race which got blown up by the Romulans, but the Romulans were cloaked, so they didn't see the Romulans and instantly blew it on us. So instead of us trying to speak to them and trying to communicate, we had red alert and instantly fired upon them. And it was like, that's just going to make us look more suspicious, and it isn't what Star Trek is. Star Trek is an exploration. It's not a shoot them up. Very rarely do you see them actually shoot people. They normally communicate or try and sort it out diplomatically, not instantly open fire. There's parts where in combat in space, my ship teleported to the other end of a planet for no reason, because it's just so laggy. And even missions which I'm by myself, like the parts you're seeing on this planet, this is the starting mission. We're lucky that the clips I took, we didn't get any lag. But there was parts in this where I was lagging everywhere. I was teleporting through walls, I was shooting my own teammates without even trying. And even in the character customization, which isn't online, it was still really laggy, and it's because they've made the whole game online. There isn't an option not to go online. There's a lot of lag, there's a lot of bugs. I mean, I ended up in the centre of a planet while in a space fight with the Romulans, and that didn't even make any sense. The quality of the game, it looks very kind of retro. It doesn't look like it's up to date. Let me just check when it came out. Star Trek Online. Star Trek Online was released apparently it's shutting down. Released 2010, so actually it's not the most up to date, but 2010, yeah, it's not the most up to date thing, but it's still going. I mean, we got an update for Lower Decks season 2, which I think is this year. Star Trek Lower Decks season 2. Yeah, season 2 was 2020, so we got an update in 2020, and it still doesn't feel up to date. It feels clunky, it feels laggy, it feels glitchy. I mean, the sizing of stuff is weird. I crashed my ship, which is called the USS Heartbreaker, into a planet. Everything is overpriced as well. To get a new ship, you need to pay 2,600 of the gold in the game. It doesn't actually tell you how to get the gold. From what I can tell, there are other ways to get gold. But from what it says in the game, the way to get gold is to buy it. To get 2,600, it's around £17 just to get one ship. And even more if you want to get a pack, which is around 20 to £30, and it seems overpriced. And there's nothing really to do. There's parts in it where they don't put you on a mission. Like, I know it's open world, but they don't put you on a mission, and you just kind of sit there, and I went to the Earth space dock because it told me to, and I sat there for a good 10 minutes just staring at a wall because it wasn't telling me what to do. There's parts in it where it would tell you to like hold X and then like press in quotation marks communicate with Admiral or travel out of sector, and it was in quotation marks, so I sat there looking for that button, and actually the button was phrased differently in the settings, so it wasn't contact Admiral, it was contact Starfleet, and it wasn't travel out of sector, it was something like leave or leave sector, and it was like it's small stuff which could easily be translated like travel out of sector and leave sector. It's basically means the same thing with the quotation marks on it, so I wasn't looking for leave sector, I was looking for travel out of sector, and it just made no sense. The ship sizes are weird. The Romulan ships are half the size of the what I can figure out is an Enterprise class shuttle, and everything just seems odd. Those ships, like the wreckage of the ship which we saw on that planet seemed to be 3 times the size of our ship. We were accepting distress calls from Enterprise with a captain which was Kirk, but I don't think we're in the right era for Kirk. And also, I don't think Kirk ever went near these planets. We are accepting distress calls from made-up ships, which were made up for the game, which is fine. But they just looked like a Enterprise of the port nacelle downwards. Like Enterprise has the port nacelles above the ship, the Shenjai or whatever. The port nacelles below the ship. It just looked like a different shaped Enterprise. It's such a big area that I travelled halfway across the map and didn't bump into a single person online, and the spatial sector is places where we should be able to meet people. The customization is off, it's weird, you have to press a section and spam X and then it will finally put you in the area, and to accept anything in the customization you have to spam X, and it just seems to be a shoot 'em up game, which Star Trek, as I said earlier, isn't. Like, there was so many times where I sat there and went, why are we shooting this face? Like, right now, the response to getting attacked by whatever it was, I can't remember the race name, mainly because I just didn't care, they didn't label the race. They said what the race was at the beginning, but when you get the health bar label, it just says heavy soldier or thing. And while on the subject of enemies, every enemy seemed to be the same, and it just seemed to have the same battle sense. We had Klingons which attacked our ship at the beginning and boarded. They were picking rocks out of our armory and throwing it at us, which didn't make any sense because there isn't any rocks in the armory. Rating, I'm not going to go through all the ratings because honestly it's all pretty much low, below 5. The whole game as a whole is a 4. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone. If you love Star Trek and you can bypass the whole this is a glitchy ass game which looks like zero effort was put into it, then maybe you'll enjoy it. If you don't like Star Trek, and if you didn't put up with Cyberpunk, let's be honest, if you didn't put up with Cyberpunk in its early days, then don't play this game because it's just crap. The graphics is bad, the glitches are bad, the lag is bad, and again this is my opinion, so don't come at me like you did with a Final Fantasy video where I said I didn't enjoy it, because at the end of the day I didn't enjoy it. I put my review on when the full game came out, I played it and I still didn't enjoy it. I'm allowed an opinion. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone, I wouldn't tell anyone to do it. The next review will probably be Elden Ring or Rainbow Six Siege. I'm not streaming still till September, so hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Or Stupid Moments. Cheerio!